Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwantner and welcome to Selling Power's Daily Report. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Chris Cabrera. He's the CEO of Xactly Corporation. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you for having me, Gerhard.
Can you explain exactly what Xactly does?
Sure, I can. Xactly is in the sales performance management space. This is a space that includes compensation and many other things like quota and territory management, everything to do with getting salespeople to perform at their peak.
How do you see the relationship between sales performance and compensation?
They're very interrelated. Compensation is a piece of overall sales performance management. It's a piece of the strategy, certainly an important one, but by itself doesn't really drive enough behavioral changes in the sales force. And so when you combine comp done right with quota and territory management and then the proper analytics and modeling and things like that, that's how companies can really maximize performance of their sales teams.
How many times do sales compensation plans change in a company during the year?
They change a lot, and in fact, that's a good thing. I mean, if companies are not changing their comp plans, that's usually a sign of bad things. And so companies really should recognize that these compensation plans do drive behavior, and so they need to be adaptive as the economic conditions change or competitive environment changes. A lot of times companies are doing acquisitions or adding more people, and anytime that happens, there's cause to tweak the comp plan or change things. The problem is that in the Excel paradigm today, companies make these tweaks without proper modeling and analysis, and they don't really know what the tweaks can result in, and that uncertainty can be very bad for business.
Chris, a lot of CEOs are really concerned with improving sales productivity. As a matter of fact, in a recent survey, it was the #1 concern. How can a good comp plan improve productivity?
That's a great question, and it's one of the most exciting things about the sales performance management space because it's very complementary to CRM. And also it's more in tune with the DNA of salespeople to want to log in and see how they're being paid and understand how their comp plan's behaving even prior to closing a deal. And so in fact we've had many companies of ours, customers of ours, who have used the acquisition of our service to get the adoption rate of their CRM application up higher.
So what is your major differentiator of your company versus all the others in that space?
Well, there's not a lot in the space. Really, who we primarily compete against is Excel. That is the way that the world uses to, that's the product the world uses to pay comp. But being a SaaS model, being a multi-tenant model, that has what's allowed, the advent of Xactly in this world of SaaS is what's allowed this space to really start to explode.
What's wrong with Excel?
Excel is a great app. In fact, I use it almost every day, as I'm sure most people do. It wasn't designed to manage the complexities of a large sales force. And imagine 200, 500, 1,000 people and the many changes that we've already talked about. It's very hard to manage that in Excel. In fact, Gartner has done a study that there's a 3 to 8% known error rate in these manual Excel-based systems. And so for these large companies that are paying hundreds of people, you're talking about tens of millions of dollars.
So you're saying it's slow, it's inaccurate, and it's subject for many disputes.
It is, it's all those things, and that's not the worst of it. The worst of it is you don't have the web-based visibility. And so if you realize that the reason that companies are using comp is to motivate salespeople to go do something different, sell fries with a shake, or upsell, or cross-sell, or do all these different things. If you don't provide them web-based visibility, you're really throwing your money away.
Now, let's talk about the visibility. Do salespeople really get a quick picture of where they stand with your solution?
They absolutely do. In fact, it can be effectively instantaneous. As soon as an order comes into our system, it immediately will calculate and the reports on the web will be updated. But more importantly, because of these mashups, you probably heard Benioff talk about mashups, we do these mashups with all the major vendors, and certainly Salesforce, who not only is a great partner of ours, but a customer. If you're a Salesforce rep and you're using Salesforce.com, you're going to see your commission statements right through the same interface that you would see and be looking at your opportunities within Salesforce.
So salespeople can count their money a lot quicker.
A lot quicker, but they can also game the comp plan, right? They can start to say, before I close this deal, hey, what if I get one of these or two of those, or what if I change the price? How much will that be worth to me?
We are going to continue our conversation with Chris Cabrera tomorrow, and we talk about the key elements that go into a sales compensation plan.